Hello everyone. I have no idea if there's anybody even watching me right now. I have two games I want to play through right now. I don't know if there's anybody around, and the problem with this is that basically trying to play Jackbox on your own is kind of boring. And Suspended, I wanted friends to be around to basically actually help me out on this. You know what I can do though? I can at least try to boot things up and get things ready for Suspended. So let me see here. I'm just going to add some stuff to the system, and we will have it available so we can go right to it. It'll just be easier that way. Yeah, that's it. I just want to add this map to the screen. This map is for Suspended. I don't think anybody's here to even hear me what I'm talking about. But I don't know if people can even read this. I should probably double check this on the stream and see if anyone can actually see the video. Let me see here. Oh, it's fuzzy, isn't it? That's going to be hard to read. I wonder if I can get that stream up to a better resolution. You know what? It doesn't have to be... Yeah. Let me try something. I'm going to stop the stream and go to a higher resolution. Give me a couple seconds. Alright. Alright, so this... Have I got a better resolution now? I'm not sure. Can I get this thing up to... It's only 480 right now, but let me refresh. Still not at a good resolution. I need to... Let's see. Okay, there is a 720 option right now, so if you want to take a look at that and see if we can actually see the screen. Oh, they're still kind of fuzzy. You know what? Maybe the best thing for me to do is to actually give you a link to the map itself. Let me upload this to the drive, and then that way everyone can read the map. How easy is that, right? If I want to upload a file. Yeah, why don't I do that? As opposed to streaming it to everyone. Alright, now. Share. Get shareable link. Alright, there is a link now in the chat for the actual file. That might help you a bit. If I think about it though, actually the resolution of the picture is not very good anyways, but at least it gives you some idea of what we're looking at. If you need some help, I can always try to explain what this is. Because you know what, having the map and having the DOS box at the same time might be difficult, but let's see what I can do here. I want to exit Windows. And let's go to Okay, now I need to put the suspended DOSBox up on the screen. Yeah, and there it is. So let me see here. I can hide a couple of these things at this point. Put the map here. We all know what the map looks like now because I've got that information. I don't know if you guys can read this, but let's see what I can do. You know what, maybe... no. If I put the map over here... text will most likely fall to the left, right? So if I put this here, not much gets blocked. But let's see. Oh, and yes, let's move this over here. Okay, now the only other thing I don't have on here are the tokens, but what I'm thinking I can do is I can add the little Waldos and whatnot I need to do. Okay, yeah, and I'm hidden. There. How's that? Yeah, the only thing I could think of is that basically those little tokens, I could put text on things, but basically we can try to remember where everything is. But I think that probably the best option is if I were to take little tiny icons, or even just text and just call it something like Waldo. Put Waldo on it. And that's really tiny. So like, it might be actually really difficult for anybody to see where everyone is. Let's just remove that for now. You know what? For the time being, I can always make a request in the game to tell me where we are too. That's the other benefit of this. I can always say report, and that will tell everyone where we are. Yeah, the idea of having tokens moving around, I should have maybe just built that quickly and done that, right? Let me just... maybe someone's done that. Suspended tokens, icons. Let's see. Not really. I know there's like icons around the image, so okay, give me a couple seconds. Okay, cool. Well, alright, cool. If you can quickly make those files and send them to me, and then I can just basically play around with them on the program. Alright. 6 files in my Dropbox. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. That makes it a lot easier. Alright. So, I'm just going to quickly add those to... Just add them to the my thing. So let's see here. Dropbox is a nice, easy way to do things. Let's see, Wiz. Iris. Auda. So, do you have any idea how this game plays, Raven? Because I can give you some quick rundown of how this thing works. It's a little complex. The whole concept of this is that basically you have been placed in suspended animation, and you are basically just told that if they need you, you will be woken up to required to fix anything that happens and then put back to sleep. You're basically part of like a jackpot. Yeah, the idea is that basically all the robots work independently. They all have weird little abilities, like Auda, looking at the icon, is a sensory robot, so it understands audio. All the other ones, like Poet, speaks in poetry. Iris can only see things. They all have their own little abilities, but the thing is, when you first wake up, you kind of don't even know what those abilities are to start. They're very confusing, and I'm just going to put all the tokens in here so we can see them all. Actually, you know what? I'll just put them all where they should be, on top of things. And then what happens is that basically you have to go about trying to figure out what's going on, use the robots to your abilities to try to figure out what's happening. As you can see here, we have Iris is in the weather monitors. So we go to, where is the weather monitors? Ah, right here. Iris is located right here. Waldo is in gamma repair. And the repairs, you notice, they basically call them alpha, beta, gamma repair. Sensa is in the central chamber. And the central chamber is right here. Auda is in the entry area. Now, the entry area... You'd think the entry area... Oh, here it is. They're up here. If I remember correctly, the humans actually come down, and if you do not get things done in time, the humans come down and pull your plug. So you have to basically either stop them or get things done before they decide to pull your plug. Poet is in the central chamber, and Wiz is in the advisory council, advisory peripheral. Okay. It's a little confusing. Just a little. So does that make sense? That where they are and what they do? What we have to do now, basically, as you can see in the description, Sensa detected a seismic aftershock in 10 meters north of Beta FC. If we take a look at our map, Beta FC is here in the blue section, in what they call the filtering computers. If you notice, we've got controls over here. They've got all of the colors here. So we've got the controls. There's a robot repair area. Supply rooms are over here. The human resource area, that's where the humans are. The central library core, which I believe connects to here. I'm not certain on this, because you can see here, this goes north to Sloping Corridor, and that goes south to Hallway Junction. So these two parts kind of connect over each other, like an overlap. So the library core and the central core are part of the same part here. The filtering computers are over here, the biological area is here, and there's a skywalk area. So, from this... Oh, did I not put the cursor on? I'm sorry. All this time? Oh my god, you're right. I'm not even... You know what I'm doing? I'm putting my cursor over the streamer. And, right. That's funny. That's really funny of me, Jason. Is there a way to put the cursor on that screen? You know what? Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I'll go through it again. I'll just grab one of these guys and we can explain it with a walking person. So, here is the filtering computers. Let's go from the start, okay? You've got the controls and monitors right here. The robot repair area is here. The supply rooms are over here. The human resource area is the red area up there. The central core is this part. So as you can see, this part actually here connects. So this part is actually sitting over this part. The filtering computers are here. Then there's the biological area and a skywalk. Now, where was Wiz? Wiz was in the advisory peripheral. You're so sweet. Thank you. And there we go. We have a laser pointer. All right. Add image. Okay. Whoop. All right. Laser pointer. Okay. So, the one thing I have a problem with this game is that basically it's really tricky to figure out where we're supposed to go, right? I'm just quickly rearranging things so that I can see you on the same screen as I am on the screen. And I've got the OBS here, so you... Okay, so now we're both on the same thing. So, to start, basically, Sensa... Where is Sensa? Sensa is here. Sensa is right here. And somehow, she says that there was a seismic aftershock detected 10 meters north of Beta FC. Beta FC is right here. Tremor intensity 9.7, projected damage connecting cables in primary and secondary channels. So here and here, there was damage to the controls in the filtering computers. Maybe we might be able to go over there and basically have something look at them to try to repair them. Let's see here. So we've got them all reporting. I believe if we just say report, that gives us a report system. So we are now in control of the complex. So here's where we are. We basically tell a command. So we say, like, Iris, head towards Beta FC. Or like, go to Beta FC. And it will basically say, I'm on my way. And then when it gets there, it will report back. So all of these robots now, some of them, I believe Wiz can't leave the library, but we have to take a look at that. We'd have to actually ask him if we can tell him to go somewhere and see if he said what his programming says. I remember specifically some of them were a little bit tricky with a sloping corridor. For example, Auda up here in the human resources is the only one on this side of the system. Everyone else is down on here. There might not be a way of getting the robots together if we can't figure this out. So my first step, I think, is I'm going to take Iris and send Iris from here to Beta FC just to try to figure out initially what's going on and go from there. So there we are. So I basically tell Iris, go to Beta FC. Cryolink established. Got it. Good looking. I'll let you know when I get there. Okay, so Iris is on the move. Assuming, you know, we'll actually see that there. Okay, now, there are so many different rooms in here that we could basically ask Wiz... Okay, what have we got? The technical... Man, I can't look at the screen without disappearing off the webcam. I know... There it is. Okay, so we've got the technical peripheral, the historical peripheral, the index peripheral, and the advisory peripheral. We could basically ask Wiz to connect to something and ask for questions. Let's see. So if we say Wiz connect... I think Wiz advise on damage. Okay, it doesn't know damage. Or sorry, it didn't know advise. Wiz report. Maybe if I spell Wiz correct, right? Okay, visual scanners cannot see Wiz here. That's probably because I'm actually connected to Iris right now, so I'd have to actually connect to Wiz. Iris, internal mapping doesn't extend from central chamber to angling corridor. I'm waiting for alternate instructions. Okay, so internal mapping doesn't extend from central chamber to angling corridor. Iris is currently stuck in the central chamber and she doesn't know where to go. The angling corridor is right here. So we have to tell Iris to head northeast. Okay. Chirolink. I can't go in that direction. Internal mapping does not extend into those areas. So Iris cannot leave the central computer. Or the central chamber. Okay, so we also have two other robots that are there. Poet and Senza. Why don't we ask Senza to go there? Senza. Go to Beta FC. Order input acknowledged, output on arrival. Okay. So, Iris got stuck at the central corridor. I'm just going to say report, because we're currently on Senza. So there's a full report from Senza. Moving through angling corridor, I am in the angling corridor. Iris is off to the southwest. Poet is off to the southwest. I cannot sense a thing in my grasping extensions. So Senza has a grasping extension, something to grab things. Okay, I'm going to ask Poet for a report. Full report from Poet. Internal map reference, circle chamber. It hops and skips and leaves a bit and can't decide if it should quit. It tells the world what it should know, but doesn't know when it's been shown. In the room with me is Iris. Okay, so Poet speaks in riddles. Of course Poet speaks in riddles. It hops and skips and leaves a bit and can't decide if it should quit. It tells the world what it should know, but doesn't know when it's been shown. Sensa is in motion off to the northeast. As far as I know, I'm Zen on inventory. Sensory pads detect no abnormal flow. Okay. I don't think I did a report on Iris. Internal map reference. Well, there's our first puzzle to try to solve. You notice that Iris says, "I can't see." Iris, our seeing eye robot, can't. Doesn't. That's a good start. So Iris is broken as well. Iris, open eye. Start camera. Iris. Okay. Oh, you know what? Okay, well, they're both in the same room. There we go. Tell Poet to talk about Iris. Iris is the personification of petite beauty. Oh, right. It could be dark, couldn't it? I wonder if Poet would be able to tell me that. The young lady always wore mink while her visual circuits went blink. The young men's delight, night after night, was a blushing a bright shade of pink. Poet, is it dark? Okay. Poet, are lights on? This is when Infocom starts getting weird, right? Iris, is it dark? Right, it doesn't know the word dark. And it doesn't know the word lights. You know what? I'm going to ask Wiz, because they're connected to the library. Maybe Wiz knows. Wiz. Report. Internal map references. CLC tagged object indicates it is the advisory pedestal before me. CLC feedback indicates I carry nothing. Unable to process queries. Why can't Wiz process queries? Connect to advisory peripheral. Really? Plug in. It's great to be home. Plugged into the advisory pedestal. Ready to process queries. Now you can process queries. Okay. Wiz. Turn on lights. Doesn't know that. Nope. Not a system report. I know if Infocom was typically pretty smart with all of their text. So if you missed something, you wouldn't have a problem with it. The CLC cannot confirm the presence of any library here. Let me see. Wiz advise. Nope. It's connected to the advisory pedestal, but it doesn't know how to advise. Sensa report. Moving through Alpha FC. So Sensa is now up here for some reason. I don't know why Sensa didn't go to Beta FC first. It went to Alpha FC first. But she's reporting something. Sensory mechanisms detect a tremendous channeling and flow of electrical and data energy into an object surrounding me. Sensors detect a similar channeling to an object to the south. Tremendous channeling. Well, this is the filtering computers. Do you think she's just referring to the computers basically functioning? Let's see, report about, no, doesn't know the word energy. Sensa is moving through primary channel. She actually hasn't stopped moving. She's actually moving along the path that we've given her. It's just that for some reason, instead of her going from here and going along, instead of going right from here to here, maybe her path was blocked. And she went up here instead and then came down here. She's on her way. Maybe there was something wrong at the east end. Oh, right, okay, so let me see. Yeah, tell her to, once she gets to Beta FC, I'm going to ask her to walk west. Let's see what happens. Yeah, this would be really cool if we could both communicate to it at the same time, right? I've been wanting to play this game with, like, people live, but it would be exactly the same thing. People discussing what to do, and then one person inputting the commands, right? Waldo report. I don't even know what Waldo does. Internal map reference scan repair. I have reached the south end of this area. The walkway ends here. The walkway is not in motion. A large object sits before me. Sonar indicates it is hollow, but not empty. My extensions grasp nothing. Sensa interrupt. There we go. So Sensa's at the Beta FC now. So let's see. Sensa West. Internal map reference. She did manage to make to the East End. So she's here now. This is incredible. The amount of energy flowing around me makes it difficult to keep myself oriented. Oh, directly before me is the entrance into the huge FC. Oh, the FC, the filtering computers. Secondary tremor detected in lower level. Intensity 7.3. Projected damage. Cooling systems for filtering computers in maintenance area. Cooling systems. The cooling systems are... Where are the cooling systems? I don't see cooling systems. Do you see cooling systems? The Gamma FC is the lower right. Yeah, sorry, the blue packet, the blue part in the lower half. Oh, wait. Right, okay, the cooling... The filtering computers... The blue bar on the level with the library core. Oh, here. Maintenance access. Oh. Right, okay, so yes. Sorry. Okay, so... Oh my god. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna have Aura head towards the maintenance area. Because maybe Aura can figure out something, right? Aura, go to maintenance room. Oh, it's Auda, isn't it? I hear you loud and clear. Talk to you when I get there. I realized I forgot to start my timer. Okay, so Sensa said that she had problems with her orientation in this area. Something is here at the East End that she got confused with. Okay. Yeah, okay, so now... Waldo has sonar. A large object sits before me. Sonar indicates it is hollow but not empty. Let me see. Waldo, pick up object. I'd sooner play 8 pairs of castanets for Auda. Is Waldo got an attitude? Let's bring Waldo to the East End. Should we have Sensa go back to the Beta FC? Is it East End? Yes. Expect a report on arrival. Sensa East. I am within an immense device which contains immeasurable circuitry and switching devices. I can detect connections to the north and south of this device. Can't find a verb in that sentence. Whiz, what are filtering computers? Oh, look at this. I just asked him about the filtering computers. All defective cables should be replaced, then the reset code should be entered at the machine in the main supply room. The main supply room. Out is on its way. Oh, main supply room is over here. That is the main supply room there. Yeah. All defective cables should be replaced. So, do you want me to see if I tell Sensa to basically just replace cables? Do you think that Sensa will be able to do anything? What do you want to replace the cables with? Right. They probably have to find cables, right? There is a main, middle, and sub-supply room. Okay, Wiz, where are cables? The CLC cannot confirm the presence of any cables here. I don't understand. So, I can't ask him where the replacement cables are, and he doesn't understand what is in the supply room. Wait, Iris is still there, but you know what? Let's Poet go to main supply room. I'm just gonna have all life's a stage, so just consider me a player. See you. So maybe Poet can actually give me some description of what's going on in the main supply room. Auda has arrived at the maintenance access. Now, there was the cooling system was broken, right? Auda, report. I can hear hissing coming from high overhead here. I can't hear a thing in my extension. Auditory circuits inactive. Auda also is broken. Okay, so I almost feel like I needed to make a list. Iris can't see. Auda can't hear. I wouldn't be surprised if Sensa can't feel. Fix cooling. Let me just see. I don't know the word cooling. Alright, let's see. How to activate. I'm sorry, I can't hear any circuits here. Be serious, would you? Poet, as much as I can be any place, I'm here at the main supply room. Let me try that with Iris. Iris, visual scanners cannot see any circuits here. Wiz is plugged into the advisory pedestal and ready to ask things for you. Well, command list isn't working. Let me just see. Wiz, help. Oh, that doesn't help. That doesn't help. What? Waldo interrupt. Graspers are beginning to malfunction. Waldo interrupt. Internal mapping indicates arrival at the East End. Okay, so Waldo has arrived at the East End, and Poet said that they were at the main supply room. Whoops, I forgot to mark everyone here, eh? Let me take a quick check for something. Suspended. I'm just going to look up the Infocom suspended manual. Let's see if there's actually... I love the fact that there is this kind of stuff. I can pull up the briefing. So, let's see if I can find anything here. Okay, Iris has 2 grasping extensions. She has proved to be the butt of many design and implementation jokes. Iris's limited mobility results from her complex optical capabilities. Due to these abilities, only a limited mapping of the complex was included in her logic circuits. She can only wander in areas where she serves a useful purpose. Waldo can manipulate objects using his 6 grasping extensions. He has sonar and can detect quite a bit about the inherent characteristics based on this sonar. Sensa can detect vibrational activity, photon emission sources, and ionic discharges. Also rigged to automatically perform sensory tasks as the analysis of diffraction indexes. Has 5 extensions, 2 of which are used exclusively for sensory input. The other 3 are grasping. Ada is all ears. Her presence is required by the Consolidated Listeners Unit, and though Ada may not be very helpful in the high-tech sense, in case of human intervention she is absolutely essential. 1 grasping extension. Poet was intended as a diagnostic robot, has been equipped with a diagnostic sensor, which is activated when he is directed to touch something. Unless Poet is actually doing his thing, he makes the best of what he perceives, translating his input into occasionally bewildering output. Okay, so Poet can touch. Let me see here. Let me try a hint. Whiz. Hint. I think Waldo's about to fall apart. Warning. Internal mechanisms failing. And Wiz can plug into the peripherals and get information for you. This information pertains to objects and the complex in general. The CLC contains no information about any of the rooms your robots can visit, though Wiz is extremely helpful. He does have his limitations. There was once a robot joke about Wiz being a real airhead. If he would have understood, he would have taken offense. There is a 7th robot, standing almost 2 meters tall and featuring 16 grasping extensions, verbal circuits, and heavy-duty shielding against acid damage. This model is optimized for a multitude of applications. It should be mentioned that this robot was misused by Gregory Franklin, who abandoned it within the complex after brutally mangling it beyond recognition or hope of repair. There is another robot in here. Query the peripheral in the index core. The central language board. Okay. If a name is not found, you'll be informed the object is not on file, and the peripheral will contain reference. Oh my god, this is really complex. Wait, it is attuned to provide hierarchical... The advisory peripheral. When you need advice and can't understand what's going on with something, ask this peripheral. It is attuned to provide hierarchical information for newly terraformed systems, or hints. Yes. Yes, I think they've got a broken down baby in here. Okay. There's the surface systems, which have the filtering computers. When these systems are in proper balance, they maintain the weather, transportation systems, and food production automatically. By pulling surface-side peripherals, the filtering computers can make decisions on what adjustments are necessary for a balanced environment. If the filtering computers cannot mutually agree on course of action, you will be awakened to make the necessary decisions. So that's where I came in. A final note, your 500-year tour of duty will indubitably fly by trouble-free. Right. Of course. Okay, let me see here. Tips for novices. Let's see. Have them walk around different areas. You might find them, send them all to one location, and see how their descriptions differ. Objects they find there will be described differently as they perceive objects through their own unique senses. Each cycle which elapses before the complex is repaired means more casualties occur. It is important to solve the problems as quickly and efficiently as possible. Don't waste time mapping the complex. Let's see here. Keep in mind which robot you're addressing. If you instruct Wiz to query, make sure you are linked to Wiz and Wiz is plugged in. It is also a good idea to keep your queries to a minimum because each one costs you cycles. Remember, with each query you make, the situation on the planet's surface deteriorates. There is no one correct answer for solving problems. Sometimes you'll need to solve one problem in order to obtain the tools or information you need to solve another. You can always save your position if you want as well. Put the marshmallow in the panel is a weird nonsense example. You have just learned that probably putting the marshmallow in the panel has no effect on the broken conveyor belt. You have just learned that there's probably something that if you put in the panel would affect the broken conveyor belt. Maybe the steel cylinder. And they also suggest a hint booklet, which you have to purchase. Here's some commands. Take the bag, open panel, read the plaque, pick up the small container, take wavy chip from panel, go to the middle supply room, replace the small object with smooth object. It says, note that some of these commands aren't actually used in suspended. The filtering computers only understand the first 6 letters of the words you type. The filtering computers can understand many different types of sentences. The simplest ones are the cardinal directions. The words it and all can be very handy. You can include several sentences in one input line if you separate them by the word then or by a period. The filtering computers try to determine what you really mean when you don't give enough information. If you say you want one of the robots to do something, but don't say what to do or with to it, the filtering computers will sometimes assume the object you could have meant. Okay, so all robots report locations, or all robots report is ARR and ARL. Okay, so a lot of it is not really a lot more to this now. Let's see. Okay, so back to here. Oh, what did I put here? I put the screen up, didn't I? There we go. Okay. Okay, let's ask Waldo to describe the room, right? Before he breaks down. I have reached the east end of the huge open area. Directly before me is the entrance into the lower reaches of the Beta FC. Access to the other computers is available through the northeast and southeast. Okay. Waldo interrupt. System failure. Extensions frozen. The filtering computer then responds, too bad for so much for that robot. Too bad. Waldo has shut down. Sensa. Waldo emits a lot of electrical and sonar feedback waves used for manipulating objects in his environment and is about 1 meter in height. But doesn't notice that Waldo is shut down. Okay. Oh. Poet. We want the room here. This is another fine mess you've got me into. A processor sits on the floor, munching and spitting electrons. Button, who's got the button while the sock's ablaze with color? A brain trez sits in the prime socket, and a brain quart sits in the secondary socket. With Waldo shut down, I have a feeling, yes, I may have to restart. But the fact that Waldo shut down so quickly, I almost feel like that would have to be priority one. But, of course, how are we supposed to know that? Waldo just suddenly shut down, right? Poet, take all. Let's see what Poet can grab. Pretty processor. If you knew me like I know me, you wouldn't ask me to do that. Secondary socket. I often ponder the meaning of existence, but in your case it seems like a waste of time. Primo socket. I often ponder the meaning of... Wow. So basically, Poet also said no to picking up everything. And do you notice the names that they called these things? Okay, so he called it a pretty processor, a secondary socket, a primo socket, and a button. But for some reason, backwards. Okay, so maybe, yeah, maybe Waldo did do that, so... Okay, so why don't we wander just a little bit? Let's just... Sensa... East. Oh, okay, she's already at Beta FC. I think we already tried to do the Sensa repair cables. Sensory inputs cannot detect any cables here. Okay. From junk we spring, to junk we go. So I just moved Poet down a room. So let's see, he's here. Sensa's here. Waldo is out of the picture. The basket of goodies for Grandma contain... What is this? Contains spirits like thoughts fly from reach. The basket of goodies for Grandma contains a brain plane, a brain quartet, a brain trio, a brain 2, a brain zip. There is a 16-inch cable here. It is something we all can grasp, something to embrace, whose presence I detect. Wait. It is something who we can all grasp, something to embrace, whose presence I detect. Okay, there's a cable here, but you know what? I'm going to have Iris come here. God, a good looking. I'll let you know when I get here. Okay. Poet's found something. Poet, take all. Let's just see what he says if I tell him to do. Basket of goodies for Grandma. I have a free extension, but I'm not strong enough to carry that. He grabbed the 16-inch cable. Oh, and a grasper. There's something we can all grasp, something to embrace. Like, okay, it's like another extension, I guess? A Zen Master says I am grasping a grasper and a 16-inch cable. Should I have him go over to see Sensa now? I'm going to have him go east and just look in the other final room here, the sub-supply room. It burns and wields tremendous light and makes our joints delight its might, to rise and fall and climb new heights, to descend the pit of robot despair. Everything cracks under pressure, sooner or later. Iris has reached the middle supply room. Looks like I missed Poet, though. That's actually kind of cute. Iris, report. What can you see? Get me a seeing eye robot. Okay, so I've asked Poet to take stuff, and there is a slanting wedge and a broken holder. can't accept the existence of any holder here. Okay. Life's a stage, so consider me a player. See you. Okay, so Poet has moved to here. He is on the move, and Iris is here. Sensa is here and can't do anything. I'm gonna have Sensa. What do you think? There is the primary and secondary channel. I'm gonna have Sensa move up one to the primary channel and see. Sensory mechanisms detect the disquieting flow of electricity within this tube. The flow is concentrated within the small cables which line the floor. There is a small hole in the wall of the tube awaiting a plug. Above this hole is a sign. I bet she can't read it. Oh. I'm not equipped with the necessary visual sensors. Okay, so I'm asking Sensa to move to here, so she'll be there shortly. She's right now here. I've got Poet on the move. Okay. Wiz. Is Waldo malfunctioning? I bet that does not work. Yeah. Wiz. Report Waldo. The CLC cannot confirm the presence of any 7th robot here. If you're wondering what the CLC stands for, that means the Central Library Core. That's basically what everything is being detected by on here. Doesn't know the word how. Repair filtering computers. Things aren't that simple. How do we ask Wiz to do repairs, or ask how can we do repairs? Sensa has arrived at the secondary channel. Oh, who was the one who had the good Oh, wait. I think Waldo was the one that had the good sensitive effect units. You already asked how to repair the filtering thing at one point. It explained about cables that need replacing. Okay. Report secondary channel. Sensa. Report. Sensory mechanisms detect the disquieting flow of electricity within this flow. Connected to the small cables to the groove in the floor, small hole. The same thing. Oh, she was in Alpha FC when she did that. She saw a lot of weird stuff when that happened. Yeah, so basically it was saying that it needed cables that needed replacing, I think, in the Alpha. I think that they're just calling it the primary and secondary channel, and they're just connected between the first, like, that's Alpha filtering computer, that's Beta, and that's Gamma. So these three are just connected by these two channels. These aren't actually the broken parts. I think it's Alpha that was actually broken. So let's try. Okay. Yeah. Let me just say, Poet, go to Alpha as well. Iris interrupt. You may not be aware of this, but I'm not working. I need to get repaired. Poet, I fear I'm about to come one with the cosmos. So, Poet is now also shutting down. I wonder if he's in the... Okay. There is, in the library, the index historical... Oh! What do you want to repairs? What do you want to repair? Iris, and it cannot confirm the presence of Iris here. I think I said Wiz filtering computers. No. Poet, interrupt. I detect the presence of the other worlds. The first stage of our journey begins here. The music goes round and round. In the room with thee is Sensa. Sensory mechanism, a tremendous channeling of flow of electrical. Poet calls it a grasper. Sensa calls it a micro extension. And Poet's broken. Oh, okay, so let me see here. Wiz, query, repairs. Hold on while I try to... Okay, I think we're starting to get somewhere all of a sudden. Wiz, query Iris. Oh, look at this. Iris can be best used to monitor the monitors surrounding the central chamber. Waldo should remove the maintenance panel and replace all faulty chips. It looks like most of the robots really do break, except for Sensa. Sensa seems to be okay. Poet is now out of the picture, so Poet is up there. They do seem to... Yeah, that filtering computer, I guess maybe it's the electrical stuff, but Sensa seems to be okay in there. But, okay, Waldo should remove the maintenance panel and replace all faulty chips. So, if I can get Waldo to get over there and replace faulty chips. That's a good start. So, let's query the other robots while we're at it. With his microsurgery extension installed, there's little he can't do. Let's see. Well, query Wiz. Just tell him to plug in when he's near a peripherals pedestal. Tell Ada to listen. Oh my god. These are hints. These are hints. I told Ada to listen. The auditory circuits are activated. Yeah. That was that easy. Oh, right, I'm attached to the... Like the... What is it called? The advisory peripheral. So if I were to query... I wonder if I were to query Iris from another one. Oh, yes, okay. Okay, so we're going to have to use Wiz to communicate to the other ones too. Query Sensa. Sensa makes no sounds, is unable to respond to verbal queries or orders, and is about 1 meter in height. Oh, Wiz. Query Sensa. And maybe I spelled that right. Wiz. Query Sensa. Sensa can best be used by directing her to examine objects. Am I missing one? Wiz query poet. For diagnostic information on pattern and flow, have poet touch objects. Oh. Okay. Pattern and flow. Directly before me is the central core. There is no available plug-in device within. Okay, so you can walk right through the central core. Now, okay. Now I can tell him to plug in. Great to be home. Plugged in. Alright, let's see what happens if I tell him to query Iris again. Now he's at the index. Oh. Okay, so the index tells me that if I have a question about something, where to go. You can see the technical, advisory, and historical pedestal all have information on Iris. So let me try this. Query Waldo. And maybe if I spell query right. Okay, it looks like they're all pretty much the same. Yeah, okay. So let's try the technical peripheral. Contained within Iris is a maintenance panel and some visual processors. Auda has 2 dish antennas which function as ears. Sensa has detected another earthquake. Automatic controls for surface transportation for the hydroponics area. That, if I remember correctly, is right here. The hydroponic control area. But there's hydroponics monitors too. But it's the controls, so it's the hydroponics controls where there's a problem. Well, maybe querying these robots will give me some information. Sensa contains sensory pads and mechanisms for detecting abnormal activity. Poet has 2 sensors located at the end of his extensions. That's the touching. Wiz is useful for interacting with the CLC. Waldo is a multi-extension robot capable of extremely delicate operations. Okay, so yeah, maybe I should have Poet touch Iris, and Poet might be able to give me some more information about that. Should I? Oh wait, I can't get Iris any closer than just basically the central chamber. Should I have Sensa go to central chamber? Iris, hey, I could really help a lot if you fixed me. All it takes is one little IC. Get me a seeing eye cane. Without my visual function, I'm worthless. Iris, look. That doesn't help. Get me a seeing eye robot. It's hilarious that Auda just basically just had to be told to listen. Speaking of... auditory circuits active. That's hilarious. Where should I go next? I have a feeling that, yeah, you're right. I probably have to restart at this point. I've lost 2 of my 6 robots. What have we got in here? Weather monitors, hydroponics monitors, and transit monitors. Query monitor. That's a tough one. Hold on a minute while I try to locate a reference. Here's the tagged object. Sorry about the delay, but it's crowded in here. No data available on that subject from the technical pedestal. Alright, so let's head west, north, plug in, query monitor. Here it is. I was beginning to think I was going senile. No data stored on that subject. Sensa has arrived at... I forgot to send Iris. Go to central chamber. Okay, it looks like we could probably ask a lot about Wiz just by doing the indexing. Yeah, I see, right? And a chip. One object at a time, and adjectives can be helpful. An integrated circuit. I'm pretty sure that's what they're looking for, and Poet didn't pick something up in one of the rooms. What he called a pretty chip, if I remember correctly. Okay, so let's try that again. Sensa. Describe Iris. Iris, when functioning normally, transmits high-resolution pictures of her surroundings to the FC. She can provide you with visual data and is under 1 meter in height. Okay, so Sensa and Iris are now both in the central chamber here. Main supply room. I want Sensa to pick up that integrated circuit. Scan doesn't work, unfortunately. Wiz. Query scan. Don't know the word scan. Can't find any reference to that one in this mess. Sorry. Okay, yeah, let's restart. There have been 1.6 million casualties. Wow. Oh. Wait, I can actually not restart? So she did exactly the same thing. When functioning normally, transmits high resolution pictures of her surroundings to the FC. Okay, so that didn't work. That's difficult for me to do until my visual function has been repaired. Okay, let's restart. And we'll try again. And let's, like you said, Poet will be right there. So, Iris is in the weather monitors. Waldo is in gamma repair. Poet is in the central chamber. Sensa is in the central chamber. Audrey is in the entry area. Wiz is in the advisory peripheral. I can't see. Good start with Iris. Poet. Touch. Iris. Sensory pads detect no abnormal flow. Alright, no worries. Actually, mine says it's having trouble streaming too. Okay. Talking, talking, talking. Can you hear me? Okay, let me see. Okay, so I managed to get Waldo to examine Iris and who can access the maintenance panel. It's too delicate for my normal extensions. Strange apparatus sits before me, processing electrons internally. This device seems active, though some internal mechanisms are exposed. There are two receptacles designed to hold small circuitry and a button beside them. A ruined device sits in the plus receptacle, and a seized device sits in the negative socket. Strange machine, negative socket, plus receptacle, and button. Don't misuse me. Medium-sized object. I'd rather... Okay, good for the stream. Not so good for the game. Nobody wants to pick up items. How did I do this before? I don't see what you mean to take. No, all I've done is I've basically taken all of the robots and I've jammed them into this tiny room. They are all in the main supply room right now. They are currently all sitting in that room, and each one of them describes everything differently, right? So, as you can see, Poet's talking about a processor. If I tell Poet, take all, right? He has his descriptions. A pretty processor, a secondary socket, a primo socket, and a not tub, a button. Right? And he won't pick up any of them. Sensa, tell her to take all, and she goes, I've got a strange machine, a negative socket, a plus receptacle, and a button, and I don't know I can't pick those up. Waldo, take all. He sees a medium-sized object, a second depression, a first depression, and a raised spot. And if you notice, basically, Waldo is basically going, bleh, no. And then I have one more robot in there. Iris can't see anything, so she can't take anything. I'm just going to tell Auda to get there. I don't think that Auda can actually make it, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, so they can't... So do you think that maybe I can tell... Okay, so let's see. Waldo. Press button. Nothing happens. Pushing the first depression would hurt my extensions. Yeah, you're right. Basically, the things in both sockets are broken. According to Poet, he saw brain things, and I don't know what brain things mean. Okay. Moving about here is difficult due to the debris. Oh, Poet! Touch all. Look at that. That's actually very helpful. Look at this. Poet touching everything in the room. This machine is live with high voltage electrical current, a pretty processor, a secondary socket. Diagnostic circuits detect the need for a working IC to be inserted. A brain quart. I don't know what a brain quart is. Sensory pads detect no abnormal flow. Primo socket. Diagnostic circuits detect the need for a working IC to be inserted. Brain trays. Sensory pads detect no... Okay, I think he's calling brains for some reason. Brain quart, tres, 2, and then there was something else. I remember he did a count. And I don't know why he did. The button is a switch which can be activated by pressing it. And, Ada, holy earwax, I can't get from Sloping Corridor to Holloway Junction. Sloping Corridor to Holloway Junction. That would be... From here, they can't get to here. And it's a sloping corridor. And I'm not sure... It might be that there's some way that basically it's stuck. So Ada is now in here. Okay, so the sockets require an IC. Let's take Poet to the next room, huh? And let's just have him touch everything. Look at this. From junk we spring to junk we go. Contained spirits like thoughts fly from reach. The basket of goodies for grandma contains a brain plane, a brain quartet, a brain trio, a brain 2, and a brain zip. Okay. Poet, touch it all. Detects nothing unusual. What do you think Poet is referring to with these different brains? N-I-A-R-B. No. Look at that. So if I tell him to take the... He sees a brain tres and a brain quart, but there's a brain quartet and a brain trio here. What the hell? He's taking things. All of a sudden, Poet is taking things. What did we do? What did we do that made him do that? An army of arms, a farewell to hands, without even place to strike up the band. I think his hands are full. Okay, well, I took the brain quart. Give Grasper to Waldo. It's too delicate for my normal extensions. Oh, that's right. Yes, okay, so he was to... Yeah, right. All the things in this room are not actually movable, right? Okay, so... Ah, okay, so I've got Waldo to use the Grasper, which I think Sensa said was a micro Grasper. So, Waldo, open maintenance panel. When I open the smooth metal panel, I detect a smooth device, a bumpy device, and a rough device. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Sensa. The transmission barrier is open, and behind it I detect a polarized device, a filtering device, and a scanning device. Okay. Interesting. I asked him to touch a device. I asked Poe to just touch a device, and look what he asked to touch. Brain 0, dos, uno, uno. It's like he's changed these names now. Uh-oh. Communication meaningless. Electrons can no longer find flow paths through this brains. Okay, so maybe we are, like, when he's referring to brains, maybe he's referring to brains. Oh, right. We were talking about robots here, right? Basket of goodies and whatnot might just be a box of processors. Holy cow. Okay. A processor. Though what's weird is that he basically says a processor sits on the floor. Though he won't take that one. Okay, so I've got all of the robots in here, but let's see. Iris can't see it. Sensa can't. Waldo, examine device. The disfigured device, the bubbly device, the smooth device, the bumpy device, or the rough device. I'm not sure which one is the disfigured and the bubbly device, but maybe those are the other brains that are sitting around. Aha! Sensa can detect which ones are wrong. Rough, bumpy, and smooth. Okay, so the rough device. Okay, but I guess I don't have another one to put into its place, though. But yes, okay, so Poet. Look at Waldo. And yes, Poet is calling it a brain Uno. My God, Raven, you're smart. Look at that. I told him to grab a processor out of Iris, and now he's carrying a brain Uno. Oh, wait, that would explain when I asked Poet to touch Brain Uno, he also said that that was fried. So both Sensa and Poet told me what I needed to know for this. Okay, now I just need to use... Okay, so Sensa, if you notice, is called the bumpy and the smooth device, the filtering and the polarized device. I had Poet bring in other ones, bumpy and smooth, so we don't need the bumpy and smooth. Ah, there's one labeled the scanning device. That one has been fried. Okay, another tremor. Okay. Okay, so the seized device and the ruined device and the scanning device are useless. So drop scanning device. I like that I can basically say, I know that Sensa refers to it as the seized device, but I can tell Poet to drop the seized device, and he knows what I'm talking about. Poet, drop ruined device. Okay, so what we've got now, no one's holding anything that's useful right now. Poet is going to head south, and he's got his basket of goodies. One little IC. Poet, touch all. Okay, no abnormal flow. So I think that these ones might be okay, but I need... Alright. Take basket. Take brain plane. Take brain quartet. Take brain trio. I think he... Oops. Okay, he's only able to... Okay, and then... Okay, so I got him to take the trio... Oh, he's got the items. Sensa. Brain quartet. The bus object. Examine brain plane. There we are. The brain plane is a scanning object. So, poet, give brain plane to Waldo. Waldo, replace scanning device. Oh, he's now grasping a rough object and he's not sure how to use it. Okay. Waldo, repair Iris. Things aren't that simple. Oh, she calls it something different. Or at least I can tell him to just take things from them. Waldo, install blue IC. An interesting but highly unlikely thought. Interrupt. Intruders detected in sterilization chamber. There is something here now. Yeah, Iris can tell you what she has. I have a blue IC, even though I can't see it. Okay, what would be the word I'd want to fix? Things aren't that simple. Install rough object into Iris. I don't understand that sentence. An interesting but highly unlikely thought. Fix rough object. It does. Okay, fix Iris. Fix Iris with rough object. Open iris. It's already open. I think that maybe I shouldn't have taken the rough, broken one out, because I could have replaced it. Replace rough object. The door is open, and behind it I detect a brain 0 and a brain dos. The transmission barrier is open, and behind it I detect a polarized device and a filtering device. The smooth metal panel is open, and behind it I detect a smooth device and a bumpy device. No, this is these three in Iris. They had their maintenance panel in Iris itself. So I've been trying to figure out when I took it. I took one of them out of Iris, but it doesn't leave a hole. I don't know where to put this piece back in. Put rough object in Iris. Oh! Done. That felt good. Close my panel, big boy. You never looked so good. Literally, put rough object in Iris. That was all. Yeah. Okay, so we already have humans coming in to shut me down. But Iris can see things now. Look at that. I'm in the northernmost portion of a large, messy area where debris is scattered about as something had shaken it loose from the walls. Sitting near the wall is a machine which has a little orange button on its face. Beside the button are two small sockets, one red and one yellow. The red socket is empty, as is the yellow socket. Oh! That's where Poet was saying he saw brains. So there's sockets. Wait. One red and one yellow socket. So I wonder if those would be something we'd have to find the other chips, because if you notice that she's referring to these chips as colors. Blue chips, and I see a plaid IC. Okay. Oh, you know what? You're heading south. Look at that. I am in the middle of an L-shaped supply room, scattered on the floor, all kinds of debris. Among the rubble, I can see a little basket sitting on the floor with a green, yellow, and red IC. I'm going to try to put these in here. Put yellow IC in yellow socket. Put red IC in red socket. Press button. Okay, I pressed the button. The front panel popped open, experiencing a series of 8 little circles with letters written on them. We've gotten somewhere. The front panel bears further examination. A bunch of orange wires exposed, and beside it, in the panel, rests a small glass fuse. The front panel popped open, exposing a series of 8 little circles with letters written on them. 8 little circles with letters written on them. Hey, Rocket. There's a cat tail right in my face. Me? Hey. Come here, kitty. Yeah. Okay. So, now that we've got Iris, we can actually visually see things. And so that actually helps us a lot. So now we know what we have to do. We have to find... Yeah, this one talks. Right, Rocket? Yeah, he won't talk now. If I stop paying attention to him, he'll talk. I'm sure. Hey, Rocket. Hey. He's just nuzzling everything. It says right there, the front panel bears further examination. Alright, well, let's take a look at it then. Look at front panel. On the panel are a series of 8 circles. Each of these circles has a 3-letter code printed on it. The 3 letters correspond to half of the filtering computer's reset code. Oh! We were talking about a reset code, right? At one point we had to replace the cable and then enter the reset code, right? The 3 letters respond to half of the... Okay. So there's 8, though. There's 8 different codes. There we go. The circle has some lettering on it which says foo. The second circle has some lettering on it that says mum. This might take some time. Bleh. Like, I am assuming it would basically tell us, look at the 4th circle or something, and we'd have an answer as to what we need to do. Right? Right, kitty? Oh, kitty's purring. Hang on a second. Nope, can't see him. There you are. Cat cam. Hi, Rocket. Hey, over here. Yeah. Yeah, good kitty. He's being a nuzzle as he usually is. He likes to just nuzzle on me. Yeah. Being a good boy. Alright, so if we look at all these circles, it's just going to give us codes. We know, basically. So, let's see. The front panel bears further examination. A bunch of orange wires exposed, and in the panel rests a small glass fuse. Hi, kitty. Orange wires. Alright, so I've taken the glass fuse. I have no idea what the glass fuse does. But I have to wonder, so now we've got the... Oh, someone has to take the cable over to the other area and fix it. Hi. I wonder if Waldo will have to go with Sensa or something to figure out which one's broken. Oh my god, hey. Hey, Rocket? What? And now I've got a purring kitty who just is sitting in my lap. Who doesn't want to stay still? Hey, Rocket. Oh, off he goes. Alright. And he's just sitting in the cat bed. That's hilarious. Okay. You're right. I wonder if I shut something down. It didn't say that anything was used. Look at glass fuse. Nothing special. It's a standard conductor. A simple 32 amp fuse. Well, you know what? I have a feeling I'm already going to get shut down pretty soon. Alright. Iris. South. West. East. A steep wedge-shaped ramp sits under some rubble near the wall. A broken shelf lies on the floor in a terrible state beyond use. I took the ramp. Humans querying the CLC regarding proper replacement procedure for you. CLC is responding with the human access code for reviving one of your clones. Wow, Wiz is coming in to say, hey, they're looking to replace you. Okay, so I've got Iris, who seems to have enough strength to take it the ramp where the other ones couldn't do it, to go to the sloping corridor. From what I hear, I am where you want me to be. Yeah. Okay, so I've got Iris heading this way. Waldo, take cable. Iris has stopped. Iris, use ramp. What do you want to place the ramp in? Visual sensors cannot see any corridor here. Okay, Waldo, go to Beta FC. Sensa, go to Beta FC. Iris, go to Beta FC. Internal mapping doesn't extend... Oh, right, Iris cannot... Doesn't extend from central chamber to angling corridor. Iris can't get out of here. I keep forgetting about that. Well, that's weird. The cable he grabbed is 14 inches. I'm pretty sure Sensa said it was 16 the last time I looked at it. Moving through south... Let's see. Southeast Junction. Oh, okay. Oh, that's right, yes. So we should maybe take Iris and have her take a look at, like, say, the transit monitors, maybe? Iris, go to transit monitors. I've reached my destination. All around, I can see monitors which show the status of the transit systems on the surface of the planet. The monitors describe the following situation. Floater crash rate 670, taxi accident rate 670, glide ramp casualty 670. Maybe I spelled hydroponics correctly. Hydroponics monitors. Waldo, graspers are beginning to malfunction. Forgot to try to fix Waldo. Wiz. Query Waldo. And Waldo's shutting down. And Sensa is shutting down. Sensory input filter is not working reliably. Okay, well there goes Waldo. I really shouldn't have... Yeah, Waldo shut down. And Sensories, at least. Yeah, I wonder. I'm just gonna... And there goes Sensa. I'm just gonna look it up here. See, if I query Iris, it says contained within Iris is a maintenance panel and some visual processors. But if I query Sensa, it just says contains sensory pads and mechanisms for detecting abnormal activity. I don't understand why Sensa would, or even Waldo. They don't explain why they don't have maintenance panels, not that I can see here. Waldo report. Waldo is no longer functional. Sure is a mess in here. Okay, let's take him to the... Okay, if we go Central Core, Ada interrupt. Some talking mechanisms just entered the room. So where Ada is right there. I don't know where technically I am in all of this. Okay, plug in. Query history. No data available on that subject from the historical pedestal. Let's go east and north. And it quit. Oh, maybe I died and it asked if I wanted to play again. It probably did. Just looking over the video a second here. I don't know if it actually just crashed or not, because I just basically told it north to go north and it game went out. Oh, okay, yeah. Now the one thing is that I did query them on the other ones and they gave some interesting information, but nothing interesting. I should have told Ada to listen. Alright, well, we can do it again if you want, though actually it is getting a little late and I probably should be getting to bed soon. Though, I did manage to hit my 10-hour limit, so this is good. I'd love to play this again. I think it basically maybe between the two of us, though, like you said, you're texting for me to text to the screen. I'm wondering if maybe the two of us could just do it over like a, what do they call it, you know, regular chat, phone thing. Skype or something. I don't use Skype anymore. But yeah, let's do this another time because this was fun. I've gotten somewhere. I remember playing this game and never getting even to repair a robot. So to be actually able to get there, that was a lot of fun. I like that. Yeah, yay! I'm at my 10 hours. I gotta, at some point now, just put together a video of my thank yous, but I really want to thank you for sticking around just like you did the last year, too. For, seeing me through this and having a lot of fun with it at the same time. Um, Maybe at some time I'll thank you so much for Hatoful Boyfriend. So now I've got another game. I definitely should be playing that one. I did follow through a little bit of the walkthrough that you guys were doing the voices of, but I never really went on anything else on that. So, but at some point I'll want to play that one. Maybe I should be recording that one as well. Don't worry about it. You know what? The fact of the matter is, I started at 11 o'clock yesterday, and then I had, I dropped, I stopped at 8 or 9 last night, and then I came back in at 9, and then lost power. It was kind of crazy. It wasn't exactly the most steady stream, which I actually have to write to Toronto Hydro because it's sort of like I was expecting to be able to not have to worry about power problems today. But that's how it goes, right? But, yeah. I guess now I've got to get some games out to people. I've got a little bit of a list, and you know what? I'll put you on the list too because, I mean, you've been a good friend, and you've been very beneficial to helping me and pushing me a little bit to getting all of this done. And I'm very happy that I was able to play this too. Yeah, so I will see you guys. I guess I'll finish the stream off right now and thank you. And I will. Well, I'll finish up with all my stuff I need to get done for the night, and then. Well, I've got time tomorrow. Nothing's going on tomorrow. I can do all the game stuff, sorting out and all that, and yeah. But thanks very much for playing. If anybody else is playing, oh, you did. Okay, sneaky man. All right. By the way, if anybody else is on the stream, I don't even know if anybody else is on here. I know that Kevin has been popping on and off and whatnot. And hi, Kevin. But you know what? Maybe actually, I know if they're watching, I'm available tomorrow. If you guys want to play Jackbox, then maybe we can all play Jackbox. We'll talk about it soon. But yeah, you guys have a great night. Sleep well, and thanks so much for your time. And $300 raised for kids. I can't complain about that. That's really happy. There might be actually one last donation from, believe it or not, my union that I'm working with. So I might be able to get myself to the $500 level. So very happy with that. You guys have a great night. We'll talk to you soon. And I'll have a thank you video most likely within a week. And I probably should finish off Sister Location too, right? Have a great night, guys. Sleep well.